Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 4th grade concept of adjacent angles. This is standard 4.7E in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 15 off the 2019 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and then we will look at our answers together. So we have a measure of angle WXZ is 90 degrees. So let's take a look at that. We've got angle WXZ. So this first symbol looks like a less than symbol. That's actually the symbol we use for angle. And when we talk about X, WXZ, that means we start with W, the first letter. We trace our line to our central letter, X, and then we keep tracing to our third letter, Z. So this central letter is actually called the vertex. So that's where the angle actually sits. And it says that it's 90 degrees. You can actually see they put a little box right there, didn't they? So what do we know about types of angles? Well, this equals 90 degrees. We know that there are 3 types of angles that we learn about. So we've got acute angles, we've got right angles, and we've got obtuse angles. And right angles are 90 degrees. They are our square corners. And they typically have a square in them. So they tell you that WXZ is a 90-degree angle, but they also give you this little square. So that means this is a right angle. So the whole big thing is a right angle. So acute is anything less than 90. And then obtuse is anything greater than 90, up to a straight angle of 180. So we know also that the measure of angle WXY, so we've got some more letters here, let's see. WXY, so it's that X is still my vertex, but we're going to go from W over to X, but now we're going to come down to Y. So that central letter is still my vertex, but we're looking at this little guy right here, and this equals 53 degrees. And it makes sense that this 53 degrees is less than 90, so it is an acute angle. And so what we're looking for is the measure in degrees of angle YXZ. So once again, X is our vertex here, but we're looking at Y, X, and then down here to Z. So this is what we're looking for, question mark. That's the angle we need. We also know that it's going to be an acute because it is definitely less than a right angle. And since we have 2 angles here, so WXY, if we were to stack these up here, and YXZ, since those two together equal 90 degrees, these two, we actually have a special name for these 2 angles, and they are called complementary. So that's just a term that you're going to use a lot more in middle school. Complementary angles are 2 or more angles that add up to make exactly 90 degrees. Now, how do we figure this out? Well, we know that our WXY is 53 degrees. If we add that up to our mystery number here, we know those are complementary, which means they make 90 degrees. Most of you are thinking, oh, that's pretty easy. We just subtract 53 from 90. And if you are thinking that, then you are correct. It doesn't get much more difficult than that. We just subtract the 2. And we make sure we regroup. So we've got 37 degrees. So we can just put that 37 right here. And if you want to, you can add them up and make sure that they still make 90, which they do. The only trick here is we don't have A, B, C, or D to choose from. We're going to need to make our little bubble sheet here and make sure that we get everything bubbled in correctly. So you've got your decimal point. You've got 2 spots to the right of the decimal, which we are going to ignore. We do not need any decimals. You got 3 to the left. We just need to make sure we put 37 in the correct spot right there. Bubble in the 3, bubble in the 7, and you're good to go.